Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Hayaan niyong simulan ko ang aking mensahe sa isang mainit na pagbati at pagpupugay sa mga nagsisipagtapos ngayong araw na ito. Binabati ko rin ang inyong pamantasan, ang pamantasan ng Pilipinas sa Los Baños, na pinamumunuan ng aking kaibigan, Chancellor Dong Camacho, sa patuloy na paghubog sa ating mga kabataan sa gitna ng pandemyang ating kinakaharap ngayon. Today, while the situation has somehow improved compared to March 2020, things are clearly from how they were before and would probably not go back to the old normal. We have learned to adapt and embrace the new normal, and there is no turning back now. I understand your frustration of missing a live graduation. Pero saludo ako sa inyo dahil napagtagumpayan ninyo ang mga hamon ng pandemya at naipagpapatuloy ang pag-aaral sa kabila ng mga balakid at limitasyon. At ngayon ay mas handa na kayong harapin ang sunod na yugto ng inyong buhay. You and your university were able to courageously respond to the needs of the times, move forward as one, and rise above the challenges. Your theme for this year's commencement exercise is very fitting, especially considering the emerging challenge among higher education institutions to develop innovative systems while sustaining social relevance towards holistic, transformative development. I commend your university for rising up to the challenge to continue learning even during the pandemic. Now, on the part of CHED, we acted quickly and conscientiously at the onset of the pandemic and devised ways to allow continued access to quality education through alternative modes of learning. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was my abiding faith as chairman of the commission to move and shift towards a policy of flexible learning, because deeply I knew that our universities, our university officials, our faculty and students were in the best position to determine the appropriate learning methods to be adopted at the ground level. I knew that our universities were brilliant and just needed guidance and steering on the part of the commission so that they can navigate the very perilous journey to address COVID-19. We wanted to ensure that learning continued by adopting a policy of flexible learning all over the country. Flexible learning is a very simple policy. It is anchored on the belief that universities were in the best position to determine the appropriate mix of learning delivery systems based on health conditions on the ground, their coordination with local governments, the capacity of their teachers and their students to adjust to new modes of learning, the connectivity and gadgets that were available. As the pandemic moved on, one of our initiatives in the commission is what we call PhilChed Connect, designed to facilitate access to quality learning materials. We trained thousands of our faculty members in flexible learning in collaboration with top universities here and abroad. Sa aking pagpadyak sa iba't ibang pamantasan at kolehiyo sa buong Pilipinas, nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon na makausap, makasama, at makahalubilo ang mga mag-aaral, mga guro, at empleyado ng iba't ibang pamantasan at kolehiyo. I heard stories of struggles in the midst of the pandemic. We recognize the diligence, patience, and hard work of both the administrators, the faculty, our staff, and most importantly, the students for grinding it out and not allowing the pandemic to develop their dreams and aspirations. Last February 2021, nakilala ko sa aking pagpadyak ang magkapatid na parehong test grantees sa Tibiao, Antique. Sila ay si Maria at Remigio Escudero mula sa University of Antique. Ang kanilang pinagkakakitaan bago tumama ang pandemya ay magtinda ng balot. Pagdating ng pandemya, nawalan ang kanilang kabuhayan. When they received their tertiary education subsidy during the COVID-19 pandemic in May 2020, ginamit nila ang kanilang test upang makabangon ang kanilang negosyo at panggastos sa kanilang pag-aaral. Last month, when I was in Cebu, I met Renami Nunez. Renami is a test beneficiary for 2 years now. She used her first SEM tertiary education subsidy to install electricity in their house dahil sabi niya naaawa siya sa kanyang kapatid na nag-aaral sa dilim. Ginamit niya ang kanyang pangalawang test para bumili ng cellphone. Una niyang cellphone sa kanyang buhay galing sa test. At ang ikatlong test ay ginamit niya para bumili ng second hand na laptop para sa kanya at sa kanyang kapatid. She continues to study to better herself. She is the first in her family to get educated. A few weeks ago, during my bike ride, I also met Catherine E, who used her test para makapagpatayo ng sari-sari store at para ipagawa ang bubong ng bahay niya matapos bumili ng pangangailangan sa pag-aaral. And soon, I hope to meet some of our test graduates and grantees in your university. These stories of success from our scholars are the reason why this year we claim victory for free higher education. These stories are proof that the Duterte administration prioritizes free and quality education for our young people. Kaya't sa ating mga kabataan, kasama nyo ang CHED sa patuloy na pagpadyak tungo sa mas magandang kinabukasan. As long as we move together, work together, pray together under the spirit of bayanihan, and as long as we learn to educate as one, we can withstand all the trials we are facing today. It is also with pride and happiness that I share with you that even with the pandemic, more than 1.6 million Filipinos today in more than 200 public universities no longer pay tuition and miscellaneous fees and receive quality higher education, including students in your university. They no longer pay tuition and miscellaneous fees because in August 3, 2017, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte signed Republic Act 10931, and by the stroke of his signature, our students can now achieve their dreams of completing their university education. Sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa ay narinig ko na ang mga kwento ng tagumpay ng mga mag-aaral, lalo na ang mga beneficiary ng tertiary education subsidy at beneficiary ng tulong-dunong program. From their success stories, we can claim that the free higher education law, the most important social legislation in our history in higher education, is a success. Ilan sa inyong mga magsisipagtapos ay naging benepisyaryo ng programang ito ng pamahalaan. Kaakibat ang Commission on Higher Education. Overall today, more than 2 million students are supported by government amidst the global pandemic. So the students continue to receive quality higher education and move closer towards the realization of their dreams for themselves and for their families. Dear graduates, the government has placed a great premium on your education because this government believes that every peso allocated for higher education is not an expense. Every peso allocated for higher education is an investment in the future of this country. Because investing in you, investing in young people, is the best investment we can ever make for the future of our country. The transition to flexible learning, I know, poses tremendous challenges. But staying true to our undying spirit of courage and resilience, we continue to explore and implement learning modalities that are innovative, that are new, that are technology-mediated. As we shift teaching and learning processes adaptive to the needs of the students. Recently, we celebrated the first ever Philippine Higher Education Day alongside the 27th Foundation Day of the Commission on Higher Education. This, in its fidelity to RA 11522, designating May 18 of every year as the Philippine National Higher Education Day, a day for all of us to celebrate the milestones of our collective effort and move forward to claim victory for higher education in this country. As we celebrate, therefore, your graduation, today, we look back at the years of hard work and determination, the unwavering commitment in your continuous quest for knowledge, a quest that has not been stopped by the worst pandemic that has hit the world and that has happened in our lifetime. We are proud of what you have achieved. And we are confident that with the brand of education provided by your university, you can achieve much, much more. Let me take this opportunity to remind you that as graduates of a state university, you are considered scholars of the state. Kayo ang tunay na scholar ng bayan dahil ang inyong pag-aaral ay pinondohan ng buwis ni Juan de la Cruz. It is therefore befitting for true scholars to give back to their country. Let your graduation remind you of the gains that you have achieved collectively and individually, and the constant push to do better and to be better as you enter the world of work. As you leave the portals of the university, I am very optimistic that you will become active contributors to the development of our nation and the competitiveness of the Filipino people. You have been equipped with the necessary competencies anchored on the university's core values. And so you must use this to make your distinctive mark in society by transforming lives. Never stop learning and continue to pursue activities that will serve as precursors of discovery to ensure continuous productivity and sustainability for future generations. Once again, congratulations to the batch of 2021. Mabuhay kayong lahat.